Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, to join the data science course. So I think it's a very amazing journey for you as well to learn new technologies and different skills in the field of artificial intelligence in the data science. These are basically the emerging technologies nowadays and currently in the future as well. So the other jobs, the admin jobs and other jobs are basically decreasing day by day, and basically the AI now is coming more and more, and there is very huge data nowadays coming from every side in telecom industry, in the manufacturing industry, and everywhere. So that's why there is a need of to basically analyze the data using different machine learning algorithms and the deep learning algorithms. So my name is Umair Munir. I am working as a chief consultant in Plus W company. So this Plus W company is a Japanese global outsourcing recruiting company, and the head office is located in Shibuya, Tokyo, Japan. So but recently we opened the branch office, and its name is Pakistan Japan Center for Mutual Cooperation in the NUST. So maybe you know there is in the NUST there is NSTP, National Science and Technology Park. So there are many local software houses there as well. So there in NSTP we have opened the branch office which named Pakistan Japan Center for Mutual Cooperation here. And basically our main objective I will also share with you on this slide. First of all, I will introduce myself. So I was basically graduated from the NUST EME College, and I have got scholarship from the JICA, and in 2017 I went to Japan and done master in the robotics, my specialization in the robotics and AI. So then I worked in different companies as an embedded system engineer and AI engineer. So then last year when company was going to open the branch office in the Pakistan, so then I come back with them from the Japan to Pakistan. So this is the basic introduction from myself. Okay. 19,900. So please wait for a while. So then I will start the presentation. So in 2:30. So at 2:30 we start the basically the our presentation. अच्छा वन डे मतलब ये चार्ट होगा और हर महीने हमें 75 सीवी
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Umair Saab, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can. Okay, so okay. So I will start my presentation. So then, Professor, I will share the screen with you. Okay, so I will start my presentation here. So I already introduce. So okay, I will share my screen. 10. Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for joining the today data science course. So today, basically, we introduce the introduction of data science and the Japanese market. So basically, Japanese IT market, so what kind of opportunities you have. So I will tell in this lecture, I will tell only the basically the Japanese companies and what kind of opportunities. So, but in the detail, what kind of opportunities in the AI domain, data science, in the computer vision, what kind of domains basically in the Japan industry. So, I will share in the last lecture with you in more detail. So, first of all, I would like to introduce our company. So, the company name is Plus W Company and is founded in 2020, and founder is CEO Wakaku Sakurai. So the head office located in Shibuya, Tokyo, Japan, as I told earlier before. So our company opened the branch office last year. We came here in Pakistan. So the main objective of our company is basically to search the Pakistani IT professional and match them and outsource and dispatch them to different Japanese organizations. This is a major objective of our company. And another objective of our company is basically to project to get the project from the different Japanese companies and offshore them in the Pakistan. So there are many startups in the Pakistan in the field of AI, in the field of data science, and the field of artificial intelligence. So basically, we are now going to in the future. We will get the project from the Japanese organizations and then offshore them in the Pakistan as a remote base as well. And we also dispatch human resources in the basically outside in Japan as well. So now our company came here last year. So in the year now, we already hired some candidates, some are working remotely, and some are now under the visa process. So our company not only outsource the candidate to the Japanese organization, but basically we also uh, fully support the candidate in terms of if some candidate want to on-site and relocate to Japan, so our company will fully support in terms of the basically visa procedure and the documentation and the other process. And when the candidate reach in the Japan, also we will support you as well in terms of the, for example, if open the bank account and the what kind of environment you want to live in Japan in terms of the apartment accommodation as well. So these are the basic objective of our company. Okay, so we are basically supported by and we have signed the already MOUs and MOA with the NUSH University and the OEC, the Overseas Employment Corporation, and the Namal University, and the Japan side, the Shikoku University. So, and we, beside the outsourcing and dispatch the candidates to the Japanese organization, we also providing the different trainings as well. So last trainings we already held, and we are already done in the fields of basic AI, advanced AI, and the IoT. At this time, the data science course is going on. So many of you students already basically enrolled in our previous training courses as well. So these on the right side, these are the our now staff in the Pakistan. So Mr. Kango Hayashi, basically he is the head of the Japan Center, and the Miss Aruba Ilani, he is the vice head of the Japan Center, and me, the chief consultant here, and the Mr. Muhammad Talha Munir, he is the associate in the Japan Center. So we already told that we have held the workshops in the basic AI, in the advanced AI, and in the IoT course, and in the data science now going on. So around 950 students have already taken these courses from through our company. So these courses are basically supported by the AOTS in the Japan side. AOT basically the government organization of the Japan, and these workshops are supported by the uh, organization, AOT's organization of the Japan. Okay, so how many students have you been to Japan? So if someone been to Japan, so please share on the chat. So I lived in Japan around 5 years. Last year I come back from the Japan through this company. So around in Japan, around 120 million people, the population is around 120 million. So if you compare Pakistan with Pakistan, around more than 200 million in Pakistan. So in the Japan, so the number of Pakistanis, around 20,000 Pakistani people are living. So mostly the people are doing car business, but students are also from the Pakistan. Many students are going in the master and PhD, and also the IT professional, the AI engineer, full stack, front and back in the data science domain. The students are also working, and the candidates are IT professionals, also working in different multinational global Japanese companies as well. So like the famous company of the Japan, Sony, Toyota, and the PayPal, like the IDPesa, the PayPal is the one of the global Japanese organization. So many IT professionals also working in the Japan industry. So in Japan, the language is Japanese. So, but in the IT sector, in the IT companies, so the English communication is there is a working environment of the English communication. The team lead and the team members can communicate in English. So, if there is, for example, if there in the team, so if there is required of the any English language communication, so the company also hire the interpreter as well. So, but mostly in the IT companies, so the English language is required. The Japanese language is not required and not necessary. But for the daily conversation and for the daily life in the Japan, we need the and you need the basically Japanese language for your daily life and for your daily conversation with the Japanese people and the your Japanese team member. So if anyone want to go to Japan for the PhD, master, and for the job, we will also support you. And if someone want to learn Japanese language, we will also support him to learn the Japanese language. If someone got the offer through our company, so we will also support in terms of the learning Japanese language as well. So now two candidates are now under the visa process. They are going now to the Japan. So we are also providing the Japanese language as well. So in the next university, in the after the couple of months, we will start the Japanese language course as well. So now in the Japan, so there's a very huge market in the IT sector. So around 800,000 IT engineers are required until 2030 in the Japan. So in the IT sector, in the field of artificial intelligence, in the computer vision, and the full stack front and back, and in the cybersecurity domain. So there's a very huge shortage of the IT professional in the Japan market now. So there's very huge opportunity, lot of opportunities in Japan nowadays. So we can prepare ourselves. Someone now in the third year, in the fourth year, so he or she can learn the Japanese language and also develop their skill in the field of AI, in the field of data science, cybersecurity, blockchain, full stack, front and backend, and he or she can easily go to Japan. And the visa is also very easy as compared to USA and UK. The Japan visa is very good. And in terms of the winter, in terms of the seasons, also same like the Pakistan, they have the 4 seasons. So like the many big companies in Japan like Sony, Toyota, and the other companies of the Japan, they are global level companies. So in the Sony company, they have basically very huge database of the very huge database, and they are now building the machine learning algorithms and deep learning algorithms. So they are basically developing different tools for the developer and for the basically developing the core libraries and programming interface. And for these are algorithms, deep learning and machine learning algorithms. So they are basically building for the robotics and for the cameras and for the mobile phones and for the video imaging and speech recognition and text to speech and in the video games. Sony very famous in the cameras, in the robots, in the gaming. So very huge database they have. So now they are building and different AI projects is going on in the Sony company. And in the Toyota, so they are also very famous in the automobile industry, the Toyota is. But beside the automobile, they are also working in the rehabilitation robots as well and in the mobility services as well. So like you see in the picture here, the Toyota is also providing the mobility service. Now here the one of the application, Japan Taxi, which is basically available in the Japan. So they are collecting the database from the different company, the location database, weather database, event, translate, driving image, and then they are basically going to predict the uh, uh, taxi and the prediction of the location where the taxi should go. So these are services are also provided by the Toyota. So in every field, you see the AI and the data science, machine learning, deep learning is now going on and running. So one of the famous baking bakuman Bankuhen robot. So its name is Theo robot. It basically used for the cake, the type of cake. Bankuhen is a type of cake basically. So they developed the report. So in this report, there also artificial intelligence is running. So computer vision is a field of AI. So there are many data sort of images and camera sensor is there and machine learning and deep learning is involved in this report. You can see here so basically, this machine is basically before the this cake is and the dough is manually dipped into the butter and then the whole process is going on. So this robot now going to make this bamkuchen cake, very famous in the Japan and the whole world. Also the franchise also in the Germany as well. So so these are the engineers we already hired. Other engineers also we already hired in the year. So they are the pioneers now. One is basically working remotely from the Lahore. Is working as a backend engineer in the one of the AI startup of the Japan. So another full stack. He's working as a full stack engineer in the web RTC domain, the video and audio communication on the cloud side. So other two or three other engineers also working remotely, and some are now under the visa process as well. So these are the Japanese market, a very huge industry and Japanese IT market nowadays. In the future, their population is also decreasing day by day. As already I show you in the graph, their population is decreasing day by day. So that's why there's a very huge shortage of the IT profession, other laborers as well. That's why there's a huge demand. And Japan has a very big data there. That's why they need the data science engineer, data scientist, data analyst, and the AI engineers, and in the full stack domain as well, in the front end and back end. So very huge market in the Japan sector. So in the last lecture, in the data science, in the last lecture of data science course, so basically we will also show you and we will show you the job description that we have and we are getting from the Japanese organizations in details what kind of required skill and what kind of technical skill you will need to basically get the job in the Japan market. So this is a basic introduction of the Japanese IT market and our company. So you can easily, everyone can easily go. So if you are in the third year or master student, so you can develop your skill in the field of AI, in the field of data science, computer vision, machine learning. So you can easily go to Japan and we will support, our company will support you from the starting to the you reach in Japan, you land in Japan. In Japan, also we will support you. So that's why our company came here. So first time any recruiting Japanese company came in Pakistan to guide the Pakistani IT professionals and link them with the different Japanese organizations. These are basic introduction. So now I will give over to you, Dr. Mozzam. Dr. Mozzam, so he can now teach you on the data set. Many of you already know him already very well. So, okay, so Dr. Mozzam, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I welcome you all to this course. And in this course, we will study a little bit about data science. Before starting this lecture, I would like to thank Mr. Omer Munir and Japan Center at Pakistan for providing me this opportunity to interact with you people and to discuss something new or some new updates about the data science and how it can create some impact for the society. And specifically how we can take help from data science, AI, machine learning in the society of Japan to address different issues. Can you please allow me to share my screen?
Yes, sir, you can.
Yes. Yeah. Is it shared?
Yes.
Yes. So may I start now? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So here, this lecture is about introduction to data science and machine learning. And you can see on the title slide that data is the new oil. So all the wars that was earlier for oil or for other things will now be for data. Here are the agenda for my talk. There will be some intro about me, then certain points about data and science, what are its applications, the life cycle, different failures, and the tools that we can use. And at the end, we will have machine learning, its application, the type of machine learning, and how machine learning is applicable in different industries at Japan. There are some videos and some case studies as well, which will be a part of this lecture. Beside that, we will have our question and answer session at the end of this talk. So here is me. I am working as professor at Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad. And my work is actually on smart cities, intelligent network, information security, and artificial intelligence. We are also working on some projects, and you can see here that almost 250 million grants we have obtained so far. And we are also collaborating at international level with different universities that include University of Missouri, US, Germany, United Kingdom, and South Korea as well. So let me start from here that the data science, what it actually is, it's a combination of two words, what data plus science. So data actually means the raw fact and figures, which include everything, which might have something which may not be of any importance or any advantage or any pros related to your activity or the work you are doing. While science is actually the scientific way to analyze that data and onward to extract the data which is required and which can be beneficial for you. Another important thing that we should know about that earlier we have only data, then later on we moved to big data, and after that we moved to smart data. So smart data is actually required to take certain decisions or to take some actions for your future. Here in this slide, you can see that what kind of data we can have. We might have numbers, facts, observation, different measurements, and graphs. And then the tools are actually available to analyze all these types of data to extract the final outcomes, which can be used for decision making or for prediction of the future activities. Here is another important thing you can see here, that the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but data. And in the buildings, you can see that we have all those platforms which actually generate data in this world or in this digital world. I might use digital words or digital community or digital society. So you can see we have the Tesla on the rightmost side, then Facebook, then Google, then Microsoft, then Uber, then Amazon, and all these units are actually contributing to generate some data. And later on, we have the responsibility to process this data as per our requirement. And for that purpose, the data science field actually emerges. Though we were actually performing all these activities earlier, but now these activities are performed in a systematic way, and the work is more focused toward some goals, toward some objectives, and toward some decision making. Here, the data science actually combines, but before moving onward, you can see this picture on right side on the top. Data is the new gold, but like gold, it must be processed to extract business value. So this is very important concept that we must know about data, that how it can be treated like gold if we got it in raw form, and how we can process it to obtain the actual gold. So these are actually the ways through which we can process our data, which includes maths and statistic, advanced programming, advanced data analytics techniques, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and some other subject matter expertise to categorize different kind of data and to uncover the actionable insight hidden in any organization data. So look at this. The focus is on the inside hidden treasure that you have to discover. And how you will discover it, you will discover it from data which is already available there with that organization or with that industry. So these are the processing tool that we will follow to process data, and later on we might get smart data which will be helpful for our future, to make our action accordingly, to organize ourselves as per the final results. And if we haven't considered those results and didn't convert or divert our action in the direction for which we has been guided by those techniques, then it will definitely be a disaster for us. I also have some examples of such disaster where data science failed, where the rightly picking procedure was not followed, or where the data type which was required to be considered was not considered, and that actually causes a big disaster. And the company, the industry, or the market share of those people is nowhere nowadays. So why we actually focus on data science? One of the most important thing is that it generate meaning for data. And meaning for data is that how it will make some sense to you, how it will help you to take your next step. And the meanings can be used to guide the strategic planning. You must have the desired planning for your organization. As we have the vision, we have mission, and same is the case to achieve the vision and mission of any organization of our industry. We might have some sort of planning as well, which should be the step-by-step procedure to get and obtain our desired target. It also helps humans to take more sound and information-based decisions, and that's why we can't deny the importance of data science in our daily life, and that is really very important. Uh, I personally was very impressed by tech of Japan, and you people might know, as the student or the people belongs to our generation. We actually knew Japan for iron, for Sony televisions, for computers, for cameras, and all those digital gadgets which were earlier available before the revolution of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all these things. But now Japan is much more. Over there, they have applied artificial intelligence and machine learning in all fields of life. And you can see here on this slide that they deploy artificial intelligence in smart cities that might include smart hospitals, smart cars, internet of vehicles, their transportation system. Robotics is one of the most strongest area in Japan, and that is really revolutionized in Japan for the first time. And over here, you can see the picture on the top. The US President Barack Obama was actually welcomed by a robot when he was on a visit to Japan, when that was back in his tenure when he visited Japan. So he was welcome, and they actually show them or give him an impression that where they stand in this technology and how the robot can interact with the people and they can communicate and they can share different things like human beings over there. Another important threat where AI and machine learning and data science is important in Japan is the weather and earthquake. Earthquake is one of the most disastrous activity or natural process that come in Japan, and it has done a lot of destruction, and that's why they are working rigorously that how we can address or how we can deal with earthquake and predict it earlier to take certain precautionary measures. Beside that, they also have air traffic and air control systems and how they can interact with one another. So there may not be any accident or loss of human lives or loss of any property or any other things. Here are a few videos that I have added here. So I'll play it for you people. Uh, this is the first video that I'll show you.
My name is Trini, and I'm the lead instructor for the Data Science Bootcamp at Levack.
Okay, sir, we cannot see the video.
Can you hear this?
Yes, we can hear the but video, we can't see the video.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
My name is Trini, and I'm the lead instructor for the Data Science Bootcamp at Levack Tokyo. I have a background in both entrepreneurship and engineering. And what is so exciting today about data science is that with the rise of cloud computing and libraries that are now making machine learning accessible to everybody, small companies as well as big companies can now benefit from this powerful technology to improve their operations and have better businesses in general. So personally, I'm really excited about self-driving cars. But even not looking that far away, we actually use services every day that rely on data. For example, if I open Netflix and I get recommendations, or I open Amazon and see items that I might be interested in. Even if I go on Google Translate and try and translate something in Japanese, well, all of these rely on data that we feed into these services. The more we use them, the smarter they become. And this shows you that now with all of these digital services, there is a lot of data that is being collected every single day. And most of the time, most companies are not able to actually exploit it, and that data is just sitting there. The reason is there's not enough people, they don't have the right people with the right skills to actually make use of it. So for the people with those right skills, there's actually a very big opportunity to make a great impact. The good news is the field of data science has really matured over the years, and the toolkit that you need to become an effective data scientist has really been streamlined. For example, Python is a very powerful yet easy to use programming language, which enjoys a large community of developers who build amazing and powerful libraries for machine learning. To name a few, for example, PyTorch, TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, all of these have really removed a lot of the complexity in training a machine learning model to really make this accessible to not only small companies, but even your personal projects. The The Data Science Bootcamp is a 9-week full-time program that was designed with the help from engineers at leading companies like Airbnb and ICESCO.
So here is the first video which actually realize you that how important it is for the people in Japan. And after that, we will have another case study related to Japan as well, that how actually they
Previously, you learned the definition of data science.
The central idea of the Vision Zero campaign is that we shouldn't accept that 40,000 people die every year as part of just how our transportation system works.
About a year and a half ago, we were approached by Microsoft about how we could partner together with DataKind to get better at using the data that we do collect, to really start looking at exposure rates and identifying where people were exposed to risky conditions.
We're an organization that teams up data scientists, machine learning experts, and others from the tech sector who want to volunteer alongside social organizations so that together they can help us live in a better world. Data science and algorithms can only work when they're actually designed in collaboration with folks so that they'll actually live on beyond the end of the project.
Our first labs project was this Vision Zero project in partnership with Microsoft. Our goal here was to partner with a variety of cities, so we partnered with Seattle, New Orleans, and New York, and then worked on different traffic safety studies for each of those cities.
DataKind provides data scientists for us that can actually spend the time building the algorithms that help us predict where we need to make safety improvements.
Within the Department of Transportation, we just didn't have these resources. The sort of pie in the sky, holy grail piece that we were looking to get to here, you want the capability to be able to sit down, look at a roadway, and say, okay, I'm gonna do this change to the street. I'm going to expand the sidewalk by 5 feet, put a bike lane on the left side of the street, put a concrete median through the middle of the roadway. I'm gonna enter all those things in. What I'm gonna get back is what is going to be the effect of that set of treatments on safety, on injury rates, on fatality rates.
One of the most groundbreaking pieces of this work was the exposure model, which basically helps you know how many cars are on the road block by block across the city. This algorithm that's actually able to determine what those levels are of congestion is a really critical underpinning to every other piece of Vision Zero prediction work you'd want to do.
This is something I think that the general public probably thinks that city agencies like DOT already know. We don't know that, and typically cities in general don't know that either. We do have a lot of data that we've collected over the years, but it only covers about 5% of the city. So DataKind was able to take that data, extrapolate out from it, and basically generate an estimate for how many vehicles are using a piece of roadway during the day or at peak hour, which is something we look at when we're planning a project.
Using this data with exposure rates really helps us start targeting different policies or different projects that we know are going to yield results and ideally prevent future crashes.
What we're trying to do is keep people out of the hospital and save people's lives. And the more we know, the better a job we can do.
The City of New York is already starting to put some of this into practice. Seattle Department of Transportation, which now has a $1 billion budget to work on traffic improvements, is going to be using That's really what I think we're going to see more of as we move forward. More of these collaborations and partnerships that will actually allow us to use data science for good.
So thank you so much for watching these videos. The main purpose of these videos are to let you know about the impact of data science, artificial intelligence in Japan as well across the world. There's one more video, and you might watch it later on in your spare time. Moving onward, specifically in perspective of Japan, if you have a look, this is another case study, the never-ending effort for earthquake safety. What they are actually doing, they have deployed a complete infrastructure to get early alarm about earthquake, and they predict, as earlier they predict the earthquake activity, they might be in the position to take the precautionary measures and to save the lives of people. If you have a look to this complete architecture here, they actually focused on the earthquake occurrence center, and they started the measurement from here. From where you can see the seismic movement data or information is transferred, and then onward it is processed, and an early earthquake warning alarm is generated by meteorological department. And then onward, all the necessary action has been taken before the earthquake actually happened. If you read this few lines at the bottom of this slide, this utilized the seafloor seismograph data acquired from the seafloor observation network for earthquake and tsunami, built and operated by the National Research Institute for Earth Science and Disaster Resilience. So this is one of the important thing, our important contribution of data science for Japan, that is early they predict about the earthquake. Once they receive data, they analyze and they look into the impact of that earthquake, when it will happen, and what will be its intensity on the Richter scale. So they can do the necessary arrangement accordingly. If we have a look to the recent earthquakes that happens in Turkey, in last month almost, there are 3 times that Turkey, different cities has been destructed by earthquake. So if we have such system and such techniques through which we can analyze data received from different deployments installed for such specific purposes, then we can definitely save human life, as well as we can save our society. Here is some more information about Japan. You can see the data is a bit older, but still it can make some sense. The state of big data and data science in Japan, and you can see the number of university graduate trained in data analytics. US is on the top, then China, then India, Russia, Brazil, and Japan is somewhere and very low. And here is even the reference or the source given here on this slide. Here are some research which is going on in Japan, just to realize to the society or to the community that data science or data analytics skills is very important. This is actually your homework. You might read this paper, Developing Data Analytics Skill in Japan, Status and Challenges. So it will be better if you read this paper to have an inside image of the Japan about these things. Here's another research article about this, and written in Japan. The link is also provided at the bottom of this slide. A new era of statistics and data science education in Japanese university. And if you have a look to the conclusion, there are still financial constraints or restrictions in Japan as well. So rather than going for independent institutions or independent research centers, they actually converted the available options or the available departments or faculties of computing into these centers. And here you can see the example they have taken is the Shiga University, where they have launched such specialized program to provide the skilled human resource in the field of data science and artificial intelligence to their economy. Center for Data Science Tokyo is one of the most important institution among that. And here the link, they have different research projects. They also provide facility for undergraduate and postgraduate programs, and it's their motto that learn data science and go to Japan with your desired job. So it means there is a lot of gap or space available for data scientists in Japan, where they can be accommodated or where they can address. Now moving onward toward life cycle of data science, if we have a look that the diagram here in this slide actually provide an overview about this life cycle. And the first thing is the understanding of this business. You can see that one of the most important thing is that you should decide that what kind of data you will need. Are you need to collect? Are you need to acquire? Are you need to originate? And you should means divert, or analyze, or convert, or you can say design your system accordingly that you can take such data or gather such data very easily. Then onward, we have the next step is data mining. That is gather and scrape the data necessary for your project. You have to analyze, and you might have some hazards and some irrelevant data in this process. So that's why we move to the next step, which is data cleaning. And this is actually to fix the inconsistency within the data and handle the missing values as well. The fourth step, which is the next step after cleaning the data exploration from hypothesis about your defined problem by visually analyzing the data. So actually from this step, the data actually makes some impact for you. And you are looking for different pattern. You are looking for different strategies that which action is actually moving the system on in the right direction, and which action is taking the system in the wrong direction. Then onward, we have the feature engineering. Select important feature that is more effective in your case. Then the predictive model, that how you can predict and how you can model the system. You can you have seen it in the last video as well, that they were designing a model for traffic management in New York, and they were analyzing all streets, all intersections, and the highways and the internal roads of that city, and was designing a model, and then onward training that model to get rid of certain problems, road accident, huge congestions, and some other problems within New York. Then the data visualization. This is one of the important thing, that how you display the data obtained, the refined data that you obtained after all this process, and you display it to the policymakers, or the people whose decisions or whose words might have some importance or some impact over there in that process. So this is actually, you communicate the finding with key stakeholders using plot and interactive visualization. So after that, you can see we have the data analytics techniques, and we have different types of analytic techniques that include prescriptive analysis, descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, and predictive analysis. So it depends on your data and the final objective or the aim, that which kind of analysis might be suitable in your case. Here's another important thing that you can see, which is the 10 essential skills that you must know before you start the data science. So one of the important thing that I must start from here is your math and stat background should be there. Then you should have ethical skills. You must be a good team player. Then lifelong learning skills, communication skill, real world skills, machine learning, and data visualization skill, that how you can display your data, and then onward data pre-processing, and the last one, you must have the coding skills. That might be any tool that you use for this purpose, but preferably Python is mostly used over here, and beside that, in many cases, R language is also used. Here you can see the details of every step that we discussed earlier, that how you can acquire data, you can create, you can capture, you can gather from lab, fieldwork, survey, devices like IoT devices, simulation, and many other options. After acquiring this data, you need to clean it. How you can clean it, there are certain processes that you should follow. Then onward, how you can use and reuse it, and then onward, you can also check the dependencies of different data, that how they can either they have inverse relation or they have direct relation with each other, and what kind of impact they can create, or they might create on each other. The next one is that you need to publish the data, and then onward, this publishing might be more helpful for the stakeholder as well, and then they can preserve or destroy, or they can ignore, or they can take certain actions on the data that you have taken. Here are certain failure of data science in future prediction. One of the most famous example is Nokia. When we were in university, Nokia was one of the famous brand that is back in 99, 2000. And look at this, just in 20 years, Nokia is nowhere.
Sir, we can't hear you. Hello, sir. Sir, we can't hear your voice. I think there is a internet problem from the professor side, so he will join soon. Please wait for a while. Sorry for the interruption.
Sorry about the power disruption. Let me start again from the same slide where we were, that how Nokia failed. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Okay, sir, the video voice is not coming. Could you please check?
is it coming now?
Yes, now it's fine.
So just read it out that Nokia was on top earlier. So here you can see the Nokia CEO. We did just look into their case study. The most important thing is the failure of their model. And the second important thing is the data they choose to be on the top was wrong. They actually ignored the software part of their phone and they only focused on their hardware. And they make it perfect. There is no question mark on the perfection of their hardware, but they actually lost on the software side. And because of that, one of the top brand was kicked out by the customer because they didn't update themselves or their phones as per the requirement of their customer or their user. So here are a few reasons that is not adopting to environment. Look at this, the first thing. It's not only the input data you feed, but you have to look into the requirement or the trends that are taking place in the environment. So here are a few reasons that is not adopting to environment. Look at this, the first thing is hello.
Sir, we can't see the video.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Here the first thing is that the poor future prediction, and here is another case study, and you might study it by yourself. Just I am giving you an idea how and why did the Nokia fail, and here are the reasons why
Okay. Sir, so voice is not coming. So could you please check your microphone?
my microphone is
So
Can you hear me now?
yes,
Hello?
now
Yes, yes, we
now
can
it's
hear you now.
Okay, okay. Uh, uh, just can you see my screen? The Nokia case
yes,
study?
yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yes. So
yes,
look at this, the not adopting the environment. You might read all these later on. This is the Microsoft offer, which actually stopped them. They only focused on the Microsoft operating system, which didn't play a very crucial or good role in their success, rather than Android or iOS operating system. Then the poor marketing and market strategies as well. I have added the market strategies in the slide as well, that they neither focused on market, neither on the marketing strategies as well. Where the fourth one is adapting too slow to the industry. And one of the main thing that we are lagging behind here in Pakistan as well is our adaptability. The adaptability is very slow over here as well. Then onward, the overconfidence, as they were on the top and they considered it that they will remain on top without doing anything. So here, coming back to the slide again, you can see that the tears and the CEO of Nokia is weeping that they actually didn't predict the future rightly. They didn't pick the right model and they didn't pick the right data type. Now, here is another case study why so many data science projects fail to deliver that has been conducted in MIT. And the reason is given here as well, that sometimes you have lack of data, sometimes you might have improper sequential order, as we discussed earlier, that the data also needs some cleaning and trimming before going into any analytical model. And then sometime you might have the resource constraint in the institution or organization as well. Then ineffective collaborative teamworks. You may not have a good team members, or they might be not in very good collaboration. Then failure to adapt and optimize as per requirement. And then onward, sometime the process becomes too longer that you lose the motivation in the midway. If you have a look to the code given here, champions of data and artificial intelligence, a good failure rate is healthy for learning and experimentation, but it's important to fail fast. If you fail fast, then you have another opportunity to pick up or to take your next action to avoid all those steps which was the cause of your failure. So actually avoiding all those things that causes failure in your last experiment or in your last test, then in the next experiment you might move forward than the last one. Here is the link given for that as well, that you can see later on as well, that why data science project fails to deliver. And these things must be on the fingertips of a data scientist, that what things are what actions should be avoided before starting any project or later on in the midway of that project. As I told you earlier, as perfect, as accurate, as precise your data is, and then onward in the next step your model is, your success ratio will be more than 70%. Here are a few visualization techniques that are used in data science, and it depends, or it vary from data to data and from field to field, that either you will prefer pie chart, line chart, area plot, scatter chart, box plot. So the representation of data might be in as per standard, which can create more impact, which can create more effectiveness, and which can actually pressurize the stakeholder or management that they should take these actions. Otherwise, these bad things may happen to their business or to their company. Here's the link given for this, that you can see that how you can effectively visualize data or data visualization techniques using Python.
I think the connection is lost.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. So Professor will be on. Yes, please wait for a while.
Yes. So before that, we have this data visualization. The link is given here, and you can see that effective data visualization technique and data source using Python. You can preferably select the technique that can be used for the industry, for the data, for the field you are looking into, or for which you are developing a project. I have given the reference in almost all slides just to give you an opportunity. If you are interested in that particular area, then you can further explore it later on. And later on, we can have discussion on that as well. Because we have to cover too much content, in the lecture and the time is short. Here is the data science tools. You can see that there are many tools available, and you can see Spark, SAS, R, Python, and so on, the TensorFlow, MATLAB. Earlier, MATLAB was one of the top tools used for such activities, but now it's Python these days, which can be used for data science. So now moving toward the next section of this lecture is which is machine learning. And same like data science, is we split it earlier into two words, that what is data and what is science. So same we divide it into two parts, that is machine and learning. So machine is actually the object which is designed for performing certain activities. For example, if we have a look machine in this figure, which is a robot. So robot is actually a machine, and machine will start learning like human. If we have a look into the human life, the human child actually start learning from its day one. And from that onward, he actually decide things based on his or her past experience. So coming back toward the slide, machine learning, which is branch of AI, and it use data and algorithms to imitate the way that humans learn, and gradually improving its accuracy. And the capability of a machine to imitate intelligent human behavior, which enables computer to learn automatically from the past. Here you can see in this diagram, we have a human being, and he's saying, I can learn everything automatically from experience, and asking this robot, can you learn? And in response, he's saying, yes, I can also learn from past data with the help of machine learning. And this is actually the same thing, that data is stored in human mind, and which we call memory. And based on that, it takes the next action. And then onward on this side, the machine also have the storage and the past knowledge, and based on which it can take certain decisions. Here in the below diagram, you can see the difference. Actually, machine learning and deep learning both are part of artificial intelligence, and machine learning is to create algorithm that can learn from data and make decision based on a pattern observed. While in deep learning, it uses an artificial neural network to reach accurate conclusion without human intervention. There are three videos which I have given. I will show you only one video, and you can watch the remaining two video by yourself. So this is the first video.
Perform a task without explicitly to perform said task. Instead, feed data into an algorithm. Teach a computer how to perform a task without explicitly programming it to perform said task. Instead, feed data into an algorithm to gradually improve outcomes with experience, similar to how organic life learns. The term was coined in 1959 by Arthur Samuel at IBM, who was developing artificial intelligence that could play checkers. Half a century later, and predictive models are embedded in many of the products we use every day, which perform two fundamental jobs. One is to classify data, like is there another car on the road, or does this patient have cancer? The other is to make predictions about future outcomes, like will the stock go up, or which YouTube video do you want to watch next? The first step in the process is to acquire and clean up data. Lots and lots of data. The better the data represents the problem, the better the results. Garbage in, garbage out. The data needs to have some kind of signal to be valuable to the algorithm for making predictions. And data scientists perform a job called feature engineering to transform raw data into features that better represent the underlying problem. The next step is to separate the data into into a training set and testing set. The training data is fed into an algorithm to build a model, then the testing data is used to validate the accuracy or error of the model. The next step is to choose an algorithm, which might be a simple statistical model like linear or logistic regression, or a decision tree that assigns different weights to features in the data. Or you might get fancy with a convolutional neural network, which is an algorithm that also assigns weights to features, but also takes the input data and creates additional features automatically. And that's extremely useful for datasets that contain things like images or natural language, where manual feature engineering is virtually impossible. Every one of these algorithms learns to get better by comparing its predictions to an error function. If it's a classification problem, like is this animal a cat or a dog, the error function might be accuracy. If it's a regression problem, like how much will a loaf of bread cost next year, then it might be mean absolute error. Python is the language of choice among data scientists, but R and Julia are also popular options, and there are many supporting frameworks out there to make the process approachable. The end result of the machine learning process is a model, which is just a file that takes some input data in the same shape that it was trained on, then spits out a prediction that tries to minimize the error that it was optimized for. It can then be embedded on an actual device or deployed to the cloud to build a real-world product. This has been machine learning in 100 seconds. Like and subscribe if you want to see more.
So this was actually about machine learning, that how machine can learn and what kind of data the machine is looking for. And then onward, we are moving toward different types of machine learning techniques. There are two more videos and you can watch it. It's also very informative and also will give you some important information about machine learning. So here are certain applications of machine learning that you can see. In case of social media, we might have the sentiment analysis and filtering spam. Then for transport, in transportation, you can monitor the safety, the air, and other traffic control mechanism as well. Then in financial services, you can have a look to design the trading procedures and the management procedures, that how you can improve your business strategies and make your plans accordingly to make more progress. Then onward in healthcare as well, one of the most important thing that machine learning and deep learning do is diagnosis of certain disease. In many areas, we might have deficiencies of experts, which we call specialist doctors, and that's why such applications might be very helpful. They might help us in drug discovery as well as robotic surgery from a remote location, that experts can do the necessary surgery or do the operation or procedure anywhere in the world through these mechanisms. Then onward in e-commerce, we have the customer support product and the recommendation for advertisement as well. As we discussed about Nokia in our last slides, that one of their the reason of their failure was their bad strategies for market and marketing as well. So it means both these strategies actually affect their performance, and that's why they got into loss. Then we have the virtual assistants. Actually, the word is now moving toward this side, that how we have intelligent robots, natural language processing, how we can talk with a robot or with machine like humans, and how the human can understand. You might know about the robot Sarah. You might know about other virtual assistants that are helping human beings in different processes. Here are types of machine learnings. You can see the first one is supervised machine learning. We will also discuss it in detail on the next slide, but just give you a flavor that we have three types of machine learning: supervised, which works on some data or labels. It means a supervisor is available to provide the necessary information and the system learn. Over here in unsupervised, this is the data driven where no supervisor is available, but the machine actually learn based on certain patterns, certain similarities, and then onward it know about different tasks. Then the last one is the reinforcement learning, which is based on some record, and it is like human beings that you learn from mistakes. And once you learn from mistake, you will not repeat the same mistake again. Here is a small video you can see here about these machine learning processes, and then we will move to different machine learning algorithms.
Corresponding value on the y-axis will be our prediction.
Okay, so sorry, sir, the video, we can't see the video.
Yes, I am just opening the video.
Okay, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anything about machine learning or artificial intelligence, he or she might think that it is only being used in robots or machines and stuff, which is actually true as portrayed by most
Sir,
of the
still we
sci-fi
can't
movies.
see the.
Okay.
Here,
Okay, sir, it's
Can
fine now.
you see it now?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
intelligence, he or she might think that it is
Sorry, sir, the video is freeze now. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Professor will join soon.
Hello. Is your connection going down again and again? Because on my side it's fine. Everything is fine.
No, sir.
finally, there's reinforcement learning wherein the system learns
So let me start it.
train it to work on its own. It requires labeled training data.
Sir,
Next
could you
up
start it
is unsupervised
again?
learning wherein there will be training data but it won't be labeled. Finally, there's reinforcement learning wherein the system learns on its own. Let's talk about all these types in detail. Let's try to understand how supervised learning works. Look at the pictures very carefully. The monitor depicts the model or the system that we are going to train. This is how the training is done. We provide a data set that contains pictures of a kind of a fruit, say an apple. Then we provide another data set which lets the model know that these pictures were that of a fruit called apple. This ends the training phase. Now, what we will do is we provide a new set of data which only contains pictures of apple. Now here comes the fun part. The system can actually tell you what fruit it is. And it will remember this and apply this knowledge in future as well. That's how supervised learning works. You are training the model to do a certain kind of an operation on its own. This kind of a model is generally used into filtering spam.
So this is actually the supervised learning. The first one that we just discussed, here it is the supervised learning. In supervised learning, machines are trained using labeled data, and on the basis of that data, the machine actually predicts. So look at this, the machine are looking for labels, and then onward, based on that, they decide. Here you can see that it can be used in risk assessment, image classification, fraud detection, spam filtering, and etc. And one of the most important techniques, classification and regressions, are used as supervised learning mechanisms. So here the example in the diagram, you can see we have labeled data, and there are different kinds or different types of figures, while the labels are given here, that is hexagon, triangle, and square. And then onward, the model is based on these labels to identify these figures, these diagrams, and our objects. And then onward, the model predict based on these labels. That earlier, for example, if the model have seen triangle, then he noted it down that this is actually the triangle. And based on that, it can categorize these objects or these diagrams into different categories. Here on the last slide, if you have a look, we have different types of machine learning algorithms. And in supervised learning, we have classification and regression. And in classification, we have these types of algorithm which is available, and we will also discuss a few of them later on as well. Then onward, another one, supervised learning, is regression. And then we have the algorithms actually available for regression as well. Then on the other side, we have unsupervised learning. So over here, the most important thing is clustering, and then the algorithm based on that is available here as well. While in reinforcement learning, we have the decision making, and we have these three Q, R, and TD learning algorithms that is based on decision making and reinforcement learning. So moving onward toward the next step, that is unsupervised learning. And here you can see that we have no labels. We only provide data that is unlabeled data to a model. In this model, the models are not supervised using trained data set. Instead, model itself find the hidden patterns and insights from the given data. So look at this, the model will look for the similarity and for the patterns to identify different things. It will group such data which are similar with one another, and will put it into a different data set. And then onward, the types we have is clustering and association, are the algorithm, are the mechanism that works on this mechanism. So here you can see that we have input raw data, and we have cats and dog, and then we give the data to our model, and the algorithm actually look into every picture or image, and it is pre-processed, and then onward categorized into two subset or data set that are dogs and cats. Here you can see the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. In supervised, we have labeled data, while in unsupervised, we have non-labeled data. Similarly, in supervised, we obtain a direct feedback from the supervisor or in the form of labels, while there's no feedback in unsupervised clustering. And supervised, we actually predict output or outcomes that what it will be, while in unsupervised, find hidden structure in the data based on the similarity and based on the pattern. So next is the reinforcement learning. You can see that in this is totally a different type and very interesting type of learning mechanism in machine learning. Here, a training method based on rewarding desired behavior or punishing undesired one is used. And the system actually learn. Here in this picture, you can see that a child is looking to a candle. So earlier he don't know or might not know about the fire, but once he touches this candle, it burns its finger or hand. And later on, when he see the candle, he will never touch the fire based on his past experience. We might know the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. The same thing actually happened to that when he was a child. And this is the mechanism that actually takes place with this child, that he don't know about this process, that fire burn his hand or his skin or his finger. And once he has passed through this experience, then he realized, and on the next move or in the next phase, when he came close to the candle, he didn't touch the fire. Here in this diagram, you can see the complete process of reinforcement learning. We have input raw data and everything is scattered. And over here, you can see that the agent is used to get or extract data, and then onward on some successful achievement, the reward is given. And then onward, everything is moving on to the data set. It is also similar to one of the most important mobile game when we have the old mobile phones like Tentis Das. So we also used to play a snake games, and certain rewards are given once you have grabbed something that is given in that particular environment. And with that reward, the size of the snake actually grows. And that was a reward, just that how much you have gained and how much, and in the new games, it's in the form of power or it's in the form of energy if you get any reward. So reinforcement learning refer to how certain behaviors are encouraged and how certain behaviors are discouraged. Now, here is also one video related to reinforcement learning that I would like to play for you people. I hope my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
How is it possible for AI to make decisions in unpredictable environments? The answer is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning shows up in all sorts of real-life applications, like robotics, playing complex games, and autonomous driving. Essentially, reinforcement learning is the science of decision-making. It's about learning optimal behavior in an environment to obtain maximum reward. Optimal behavior is learned through interactions with the environment and observations of how it responds. The main elements of a reinforcement learning system are the agent or the learner, the environment the agent interacts with, the policy that the agent follows to take actions, and the reward signal that the agent observes upon taking actions. Reinforcement learning can solve complex problems that cannot be tackled with other machine learning algorithms because it focuses on the problem as a whole, does not require a separate data collection step, and it operates in dynamic, uncertain environments. Did you know Synopsys uses reinforcement learning for its design space optimization AI solution? Discover how you can unlock the transformative power of AI and machine learning with Synopsys DSO AI. Learn more today by visiting synopsys.com/design-AI.
So look at this. One of the most important thing in reinforcement learning is the agent. So it's the agent which actually learn about the environment, and then onward, based on that, he decide the final output, our final outcomes. Here is another example of reinforcement learning. You can see here, you input an apple and the system say the response is it is mango. And then onward, you rejected the system response and tell that you are wrong. It's an apple. You give the feedback to the system that you are wrong. It's not a mango, it's an apple. And then with this feedback mechanism, the system learn. So he learn and he give the response as noted. And later on, when you give input an apple, then the system response is it's an apple. So actually the system learn through this process when you give the feedback. And this is the reinforced response of the system. Then moving onward to the machine learning in Japan, here you can see there is a conference in Osaka, Japan in March 16 to 18, 2023. And I would like to invite you all to participate in this conference as well. Then the Japan Deep Learning Market, a report has been published. It might be available in soft as well, but I have noted down few points that how deep learning and machine learning can create some impact in the Japan market. Here is a case study of using Alexa for out-of-class self-directed Japanese language learning. This is a research article. You might read it, and you can see here on the screen as well. This is written by some researchers in Japan. And is it visible to you people? Can you see? Yes.
Yes.
This is the latest paper published in 2022. A computer and education artificial intelligence, a case study of using Alexa for out-of-class self-directed Japanese language learning. So you can see here the authors are from Japan and from different universities in Japan, and this is published in 2022. So here you can see the research design and the methodology that they have provided, that this is for some specific cases, and it will also give you an impression that how important it is, are these smart tools, are these assistants. We had discussion about these tools like Alexa, that how they are helpful and how they help us in data collection and data analysis and give the final results as well. So you might look into this research article as well, which will be very helpful for you people to have an impact of internal procedures that are taking place in Japan. Then we have the GDLA, that is again an institute which is aiming to produce, this is a deep learning association, Japan Deep Learning Association, that promote deep learning technology as a driving force for Japanese industries to gain competitiveness in global stage as well. So this is actually encouraging the entrepreneurs and the industrialists that they should take actions in the direction to make the system automative and to make it more future predictive. Then we have the innovation Japan, world latest deep learning boosting productivity in manufacturing. This is about auto industry as well, that how Japan is using innovation, are bringing innovation in their products and in their technologies using machine learning and its different models. Here is a research article again published in this domain in Japan. 1 year lesson: machine learning prediction of COVID-19 positive cases with meteorological data and mobility estimate in Japan. So you can look into this again, that how machine learning is used in healthcare and how they can predict the positive cases and take certain measures and do the necessary preparation, both at the level of transportation as well as for medical care in different hospital as well. Or might be if they are at home, then they might be considered to treated well at their place. So here is the next one, that is robotic revolution, man versus machine. And here is another case study in Japan as well. You can see this case study on the below link. Here is a case study in Japan as well. You can see this case study on the below link.
Sorry for the interruption. So professor will join soon. Okay, so I think there is a interruption from the professor side. So wait for a few minutes. Professor will join.
Sir, will the class be till 4 p.m.?
Yes, the time is basically 4 p.m. Class will close. So maybe it will close. Yes, soon. Yes.
Okay,
So
thank
the time, yes, the time is 2:30 to 4 p.m. Yes.
you. Okay. I think there is some issue with the internet connection of Dr. Mazen.
Yeah, please wait for all. So I have contacted with the professor, so there is problem from the professor side, so he will join soon. So please, sorry for the interruption. So he will join soon. Okay, so there was interruption from the professor side, so he will join soon. Okay, so the next class, our next class will be on 9th of March, and by next week on Thursday, and the third class will be on 14th, and then 17th, and the last class will be on 20th March. So the next class will be on 9th of March, and the topic is basically the supervised uh, machine learning algorithm with practical implementation. So this is the second class. So the professor will now is joining. Okay, sir, can you hear me? So,
Yes, sir.
okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay, now your voice is
Thank you.
complete.
Yeah. Sorry for the disruption. I don't know from where it's happening because I have checked everything still. Okay, here are a few books for data science and machine learning, and these are for the beginner and for the basic learnings. So the first one is for data science, and then onward for the machine learning. You might learn from anywhere, but I have just shared these books, which might be helpful for you people to learn. And thank you so much for your time and for your presence. And if you have any question, you can ask. Thank you.
Okay, so any student have any questions, so please ask. So, okay, so sir, there are some questions on the chat as well. So,
yes.
Yeah, please. Okay, the first question in the chat is written, I would like to understand how much percentage domain knowledge is
Yes,
required.
yes. Look at this. If I must be very honest, I have seen Indian students who have done their metric or FSC, and they are working as experts in different companies at Abu Dhabi and Dubai. They have done all these short courses. If you have the passion, if you want to learn, then domain knowledge on all these things are nothing. Data science by itself is a separate field like computer science. It is a subfield of computer science, but it is totally separate. You just need a few things, as I told you, about mathematics, about statistic, and then programming. And what and in which domain should I focus on? My first project is a beginner data analyst to showcase in portfolio. Yeah, first you have to learn, and then you have to look into your interest. But preferably, I will recommend you that rather than going for global project, you should focus on local projects or local problems that is available close to you. So you would be able to solve those problems at the neck over there close to you, and then you will actually find out the success ratio of that problem as well. For example, if you can do some predictions for the local companies that which trend, which strategies they should opt, what are their previous history, you just collect that, and where they are now, just collect that data and predict their future, that based on this available data where they will be. And I also give some example to my students that if you move with the pace on which you are now moving, you will be nowhere in next 4 to 5 years. But if you increase your pace with the time and with the modern tech, it's not only your speed, it's also your learning capability, learning processes, the contents and the technicality that you learn at that speed I was talking, then you must be on the top of Pakistan industry. So please share a soft book. Yeah, we will provide soft copy of these books, as well as I provided links for different research papers and books as well. Uh, you might find job related to any field that you like, but it depends on your interest as well. As I have shown many things, some people are working in industry as a data analyst, and as I told you, they collect the past and the present data, and then onward tune their policies in the right direction based on that data. If they want to take off, then which action should be taken? Yeah. Few words on big data. Big data is again data which can't give us any information or any help to take the decision. Yeah, but smart data is much more fruitful to take or to take decision or to predict something. We will discuss these LSTM, yeah, and some more algorithms as well. We will discuss classification and regression in detail in our next two classes with some practical or some experimental work as well. Yeah. Data science is very important in civil engineering as well, because based on that, you can predict the life of different architecture or different infrastructure, as well as the heating and cooling requirement for those as well. Yeah, Excel can't be a good option. I think Python is much more acceptable in the community, as well as many good options available in Python rather than R. Yes, this can be, this is actually a very short training of 5 classes. So you might have some know-how about the data science and data analytics procedures. As we have covered today, we actually discuss few stories of success, some success story as well as some failures. And then based on that, you can specify a field and explore it further. No, smart data is refined data. Smart data is actually collected. It's not raw data. Raw data, as I told you, raw data has everything, but you have to gather or extract the data which is beneficial for you. Beginners should learn. I will share the link with Mr. Romer as well, that how you can learn Python and how it will be helpful for you. Certification might be helpful as well, but unless and until you don't have the hands-on experience, which is one of the most important thing, is necessary. So data analysis is, and big data analysis is almost the same. Big means that you have more data which is not refined. SQL is very old tech, so might be it's easy for you, but it's no more market requirement. And even another important thing is in many softwares, we have the licensing costs. So that's why the industry preferably opt for open source. Yes, too much. AI and machine learning. I am teaching information security in this semester, and I always advise my students that there is no need of police and there is no need of any other mechanism. You must have the smart cameras, and they will control everything in a city. If you are violating any law, any rules of traffic, you will get your ticket at your home, on your home address. And if you didn't pay it, it will be automatically deducted from your bank account. So definitely AI and machine learning is on top in everything. So thank you so much. I think we had a good discussion. Imran, if you have any question, you can ask. He just raised his hand.
Sir, I was asking one question. If we use the big data and means like if we work on the smart cities architecture, no? And you
Yes.
have already told about the police, as we know that in class from you, that there is no need of police. So is
Yes.
it possible that we can transform these smart architecture to our medical appliances? And if possible, then how can it we just start such kind of
Yes.
tech?
Yes. Is it possible on medical appliances? But unfortunately, as you have seen in our lecture, that many times we have this disruption. And unfortunately, if a doctor or a expert is doing some procedure from a remote location, and such disruption may happen, that it can be a very threatening situation for a life of a patient. For normal procedure, which may not be threatening any human life, we can use that. But for those, it will not be recommended unless and until our system, our infrastructure is that much developed that we don't have any interruption, neither in electricity, neither in internet service. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Okay, so thank you very much, all of you, for joining the today's session, and also thank you very much for the Professor Dr. Mozam to deliver the lecture today. So I think all of you, please.
Yeah, Omer Saab, thank you so much. Most welcome. I will request you if you can share these slides with all the students. So I haven't played many videos and didn't show the case study because the time was very short. Yeah, so they might copy the link from there and look and watch those things. Yes, thank you.
So
Sir,
I will
kindly share the lecture in WhatsApp group.
Okay, I will share. I will share the lectures on the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, so now at the last we will take pictures together. So everyone, please open your webcam or camera. So we will take pictures. So then we will finish the lecture. Okay, so I will take a picture now. So everyone already opened their webcam. Okay, so I will take a picture now. So please smile. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so see you all of you in the next lecture, which will be on the 9th of March, and it will be on the supervised learning with the practical implementation. So thank you very much all of you to join the today first lecture of the data science course. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Umair, and thanks to all students. God bless you and take care.
Okay, thank you
Allah
very much.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.